Wednesday morning, 2:28 a.m. And I see a lot, but it's right here. That's plasma, close up. It has a light in it. It's pretty big compared to the other little ones over here. This is a nice, big, chunky one. And it's a lot beside it. There was one. Here he is, right there. But he came in so good. Oh, there it is. There he is. There he is. I see you. Oh, yeah. I better know something after going through this for almost 5 years straight. You know, it, listen, when you see them lights, you best believe there's something near. It may be sitting on it. It could be a group of them. Look at these right here by the tree. Look at them. Look at that one right there with the glowing eyes. Two of them, two eyes. It's just y'all when I say, look at this. It should not look like that, y'all. I'm telling you, there was a time where it didn't. There was a time where this was not there. And the wildest thing about it, after numerous ET encounters, look at these up here. After numerous ET encounters, I saw this light. Well, first the camera kept going off. I jump on. Look at her. Wow. I jump on and right here at the back of the fence. Whoa, what was that? Okay, it triggered the color because it got right up on the camera. Look at this, y'all. Look at that. Oh, well, oh, right here. Look at that. That's an actual being. Isn't that something? That's Snoopy. He's been there. He's been stationed there since this started, 2022. He's not connected to that tree, and here's the thing. So if it's two trees that have grown out, look at them over here in the dark area. If it's two trees that are like, coming towards each other, that would change as those trees change, and it doesn't. It's never ever changed since it arrived. Never. So, man, this is so wild. But anyways, the light that came at the back of the fence. Look at them. Look at that. Look at that light creature right there. You can see the little head on it and everything. And ooh, look at him. So as you see the even without the drops, look at them. Even without the drops of the rain, because it's not raining, but kind of. It's like a little mist. They still shapeshift. You know, it's when you're talking about plasma, celestial, liquid, any of that, gases, it can change forms. Oh my God, y'all see that little face? Excuse me. It's so many of them. And there's different kinds. Like they're made of different substances, like it's wild, y'all. But listen, there's some that's made of like air and hair, like fibers. I don't know what all I know is when they come through, oh, you can tell they didn't came through your window. Cause it's like almost like a dirt they leave behind. But it's a heavy dust. Very heavy. Those are spirits. These actual beings that are here. This is not like your traditional, typical human spirit. This is something totally different. I notice, y'all, I've been seeing spirits my whole life. This is new. This started in 2020. This, no. And then some people are like, no, I've been seeing them for years. Yeah, you've been seeing human spirits. And this is different. I have pictures of you know, spirits manifesting. Look at that one. Look at him. He looks tribal. Yeah, he's tribal. I'm getting Lyran. He's got a little dude right there to the side. Oh, I see another one. I see him too. Those two are together. Those two are together. There was a Lyran. Oh, look at that one, little birdie. Oh my. Oh, I see this one over there. He changed real quick. But they're the blink camera, there's another angle. And so instead of looking at it, sorry guys, this way. Look at him. Look at him, you guys. Oh, with his eyes. Look at him. That's deep. But anyways, this is like, is it straightforward? No, this is off to the side, to the left. So from the right angle, and that is a side shot from the other camera, but it's from the right. It shows Simon. Look at dude over here. It shows he went away quick, but he shapeshifts a lot too. This big one. Look at the one beside it. Ooh, I see another one, a tall one. Sorry, guys. This right here will have you just all over the place. Look at the one up in the tree. Ooh, that chin. I hope that ain't no ancestor. Lord have mercy. But right above Simon, there's this one that looks, yes, it's giving Lyran all day long. He's got the lion look, everything. I'm like, ooh wee. That one now. I wish I could pick it up on this. It's on the blink. So many of them. But that light ship, it appeared all the way right here on the right corner. It was right there. And I saw little bits of light come out of it and go right into that tree. Now understand that the light at the park, not the one in the front, but the one in the back, the tall one, it's a yellow light. I understand that it gives light to that tree. I get that. All right? Hear me out now. It's not, they do have lights, okay? Their lights are very gold colored. It's not that when the light goes off, everything goes dark. That's true until they turn their light on, until their light starts to glow. Leaves do not reflect light. They can hold light. How do I explain it, y'all? So, okay, so a lot of those lights, you see them right here. Those are lights. These are lights. I can get off of this. Let me see if I can. The color is not great, you guys. It's like this cloudiness, it looks like, in the camera. It could be the yard. It could be the portal. I don't know. But you see that? And like halfway through it, like does that. That's them, y'all. Look at all that. That's spirit. Look at all that. It's wild, man. But okay. You see what I'm saying? Look at the little lights. So, look at that one. That's a big one. It's gold. And then you got the white. Look at the plasma. Look at that plasma ball. There's a little white light. Oh, it's going away. There's a bunch of them. Tons of them. Look at them. Those are creatures. Look at that one with the head. You see it? Right in the middle. And I see a little green one. Ooh, there's there goes a red light all the way at the top. Where's the Snoopy at? Where's Snoopy? Snoopy, there he is. Look at that. And I've seen white lights on him. Ooh, look at this one. It's like, okay, I see. It is a little blurred, and this is a 2K camera. I'm about to get on the 4K in a second. Let's see. But I saw square lights. Look at the little lights, the tips. You know, when people say nature spirits, they should be seeing lights on those nature spirits. All spirits have light on them. If it's just a shape and you ain't seeing little dots of light, like look at him, he's shape shifting. And he had two little lights on him. He's got three, four. See that? Look at the one beside him. You should be able to see the lights. If you're not seeing lights, that's not. I don't know what you're looking at. Okay, babe. Yeah. You should be able to see the lights, y'all. And there are, look at them. Even the dark ones, it doesn't matter. They still, all of them have lights on them. All of them have lights on them. You know? So, look at these. Oh my God. Oh, these are new ones, you guys. There's three of them. Light green. They got an outline. They got a touch of gold. I see some more near them, but they're not coming in as strong. Sorry, as these three. Oh, wait a minute. Four, because he's got a skinny head. I don't know. It could be way more than that. But those are new. Those came in probably about maybe a week. I'm like, oh, snap. And I was looking outside, like, trying to see what bush, you know, what it's looking like. But these, y'all, I'm telling you, man. Look at that little one right there. Look at the little one. You can feel the energy. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Look at, ooh, he coming in good now. Now that might be an ET. Two of them. Yep. Because the second one over there. I see the tall one right up here. Against, ooh, look at the big face that just came in. Up against the tree over there. Oh my goodness. You guys, this is wild. Look at him. Look at that. Now, I'm going to tell you, you know, I've been experiencing this before we got the cameras, you know. It's really when I reflect back now, because I used to think a lot of things were dreams and and thanks to MUFON. Ooh, look at him, y'all. Look at him. Wow. Thanks to MUFON. During the interview, they were like getting background on me and stuff. And I was like, I've always been able to see. And he's like, okay. And I said, and I've had dreams. You know, I have these dreams that they're going from, oh, hold up. That's shooting up. They ain't coming down. What the hell? I thought that was right. As soon as I say that, it does that. I thought that was rain. How's that? That's coming up from the ground. Okay. But I told myself always, you know, I've been able to see. Ooh, look at him. I've been able to see, and I've had dreams of things to come, you know. And so he's like, okay, well, what did you see? And, you know, give me a couple examples. And, oh, and I told him, I was like, as far as I can remember, like being little and just being able to feel people's energy, their intentions, like at the door. Like sometimes it would be, you know, just outside the house, they coming over and I would start showing signs of being uncomfortable. And I have my mother's friends that can vouch for me on that. So I started as young as I can remember, and seeing real human spirits, like people who have passed away that I knew nothing about, that my mother was related to or knew, or whatever situation was, and I didn't know anything about them. I didn't even know they existed. So like it was proven at a young age that, yeah. And I grew up kind of confused because the church, we grew up in church, told me and my mother, when you leave this earth, you know nothing of it. The Bible says it, and they backed it up with some scriptures. And so it was, and I say that with like a lot of, I know y'all heard that I'm still releasing, still healing. So the next step was that it had to be demons. And I was told that at the age of 9. That was like drilled, like hammered into my mind. I remember my grandmother passed and she came to me, but she came in a form of light, okay? And it scared me. And even though it was light and it wasn't dark and it wasn't scary, I was just so disturbed back then because I was seeing so many low vibrational spirits and demons and creatures of the earth. I've always been seeing creatures, the cryptids and stuff, always. I got hella five stories. But I didn't want to see nothing back then. Me seeing an angel, if it did not stop me from seeing the other stuff, I didn't want to see none of it. But it was like an inner knowing. I knew it was her. And I was so terrified from what the church had told me. And my mother told me, she was like, I don't, oh, then they started saying stuff like, all right, if you don't rebuke this stuff, like that was the problem. I was rebuking it in the name of Jesus. I love Jesus. I grew up, I felt God's love so strong. And so I was completely sold on the Bible because I understood there was something around me in spirit, that loved me and cared for me. And so I hung on to every word they said. And they told me, they was like, Satan has many faces. He's a trickster spirit. He can change himself into someone that you love. So that, in my mind, that's what was happening. Shoot. So we rebuked the whole time. My mother had that house anointed, prayed over so many times. But here is my thing. And I do need to do an update on my ghost story. I need to do like a part 2 or something. I don't know. The one I recorded, y'all. Telling you now. Protect your energy if you watch it. Because it felt like something dark came through, just me talking about it. And I remember my grandmother, Nana, telling me that she had pulled up one day to come see my mom, because she was trying to help my mother out. This is before Nana got sick and passed away. I'm on a porch with a couple friends, and I had a recent encounter. I mean, there was a time where I was seeing stuff every night. What you talking about? What we talking about, Willis? The day my mother took us there to clean that house, because she had worked out something with the landlord, my mother cleaned houses. She went to college, she was she worked for a lawyer in a lawyer's office, but my mother loved to clean. And so she ended up quitting her career. Well, she changed it, and she started working for herself, cleaning houses and stuff. So she worked out something with the landlord to clean the house to knock off half the security deposit. So she had already signed the paperwork, did all that stuff. And we hadn't seen the house yet. We got to go, right past it, but we hadn't been inside. And it was a Saturday morning, never forget it. She said, I'm going to the house today to go clean it. I'm going to be gone all day. And she was telling us, like, you can go to your aunt's, da 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 da. She didn't want to leave us there alone. So well, my cousin decided to come over and watch us, but me and my sister, we wanted to go. We like, yeah, we want to go. We gonna play at the new house and get warm up to it. Bring our energy in there. So my mother agreed. She was like, I'm gonna be there about 6 hours. So go ahead and get some breakfast in you and get dressed. So we head over there. I'm feeling excited. My sister's excited. We pull into the driveway, the gravel driveway. I'll never forget this as long as I'm alive and breathing. And I remember it felt like my mother pulled into a very negative, toxic, dark energy vortex. Because that's what happened. That's what she did. That's what that was, y'all. Every house has one. Every location where people dwell. It is an energy vortex. All right. And the people or person that is occupying that location, it don't even got to be a building. I feel like it could just be the land. It goes into the earth. That energy seeps into the earth, and it creates portals and doorways, and creatures come up. All right, because I seen it, and I know this for a fact. Man, there's so much. And here's the thing: it's not even about, just imagine. Let me get you guys to imagine something for a moment. Imagine an energy, like a, yeah, a form. Lord help me with the words. Imagine just like a little tornado of energy just forms right there in the center of my yard. We see this, I can't even form words. I can't even explain it. Like, I'm trying to. We see this energy moving, right? Or say a light, whatever, energy, light, whatever it looks like. And then it moves over the trees. And it just goes over that whole scenery right there. All right. And then all of a sudden, we start seeing creatures pop out. Like literally popping out. Okay. Popping out of the trees. Little creatures with glowing eyes and different shapes and different forms. Some look see-through. Some look like they're made part of the tree. And some, it's an actual creature. Yeah, like it's part of wherever it's at. That's what it's part of. Because oh my God, look at them. They in a row, y'all. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's probably more than that. They ain't all got their lights on. It's a lot. Imagine that. Imagine you see a creature come out from out of this darkness. Look at the little tall one over here. Look at that. I see you. And I see this dude over here. Ooh, look at the second one just came in. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. 3. I see 3 now. Look at this one though. Ooh. Ooh, that's an eyeball. I gotta get off of that. Oh God, I can't do it, y'all. I can't do it. Ooh, look at the one in the tree right here. Ooh, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my goodness. Oh, you can see their heads, y'all. You can see their heads. Come on now. Look at that. You can see their heads. Oh. Okay. Look at this one. Ooh, look at that plasma ball. That's a big one right there. And I'm looking right here. I'm looking right in the bush right here. Look at the little light on it though. See that light? Ooh, look at that back over there. Look at that plasma ball. Plasma orb. I'm sorry, y'all. Look at the see-through one trying to come through. Oh, it's one right there in the front. Oh. Y'all, we gotta get some better cameras. Look at that one right there. There goes another one. Look at the little short one right there. Looks like a glowworm. Ooh, I see the one in the dark too. If we all come together, I'm gonna keep posting, you guys. I ain't really making no money on YouTube, so it's not like donations are welcome. I am a single mom. Everything comes from me, and I don't got like that, you guys. I try to do my best, man. You know. I did update the blink cameras, but hell, it's still, I'm like, well, shit. I got two Ks, 1080, and one 4K. Look at the eyeball on that one. So donations are welcome. I've even listed the Amazon wish list. So, wow. It's a ring of them right there. So back to what I look at these. Look at them. That's deep. So, anyways, imagine that though. A creature comes out from the dark, dark corner, and ooh, look at him popping. He popping. I see you. He is popping. Sometimes they pop. I mean, like really stick out. Like it may be for a couple seconds, but it's enough to get your attention to where you're like, whoa, and you got to zoom in on it. You're like, whoa, yeah. But imagine a creature comes out of the dark area of your yard or whatever, and when you see it, it maybe it stops moving when you go to look at it, and it's standing there, a tree or something, a bush, whatever. And it's still kind of in the dark, but you can see it, and it looks like a creature, but it's blending because it looks like it's made out of sticks. It looks like it's part of whatever it's standing near. You get what I'm saying? And it may not even be well lit up, like to where you can even separate the two, but it's you see something there. You see it. You see it move. That is like so overwhelming. That's what happened. There was some type of energy, and it went into the trees, and I watched it grow. They look like tadpoles when they first started, a little head and a tail. There were light blue, like a bluish gray. I saw bluish gray ones, and then I saw green. I saw a couple shades of green, dark green and a light green. White, like a cloud white, pale white. It stood out. And brown. I had to thank y'all. Now the black ones, it was hard to like watch them because if they don't have their light on, you it's hard to see them. Okay, look, that one is shot up there. It's got a little light too. Up there goes the light. Choop, drops down. It's infested, y'all. There's so many of them. So many of them. Imagine watching this come in and watching it grow, and then you got people, and you're trying to tell people what's here, and then, you know, majority, because I have a small following. This is not a lot to me, you guys. I should have been had a million. I should have been had a million, over a million people. I think this is scary. I think people don't want to listen to me. Look at the cluster of them there. Those aren't stars. It's like people, to listen to me and to believe me. That's terrifying. Look at that. It just blinked for those of you who wondered. Yes, it blinked. Oh, it blinked again. And that one just turned his head facing us all the way in the right corner. Because he was looking straight ahead. Yeah, straight ahead a minute ago. But it's terrifying. And it makes them question everything they thought they knew because that's what it did to me. And I'm not talking about, me seeing them on camera and video because y'all, for the first 2 years, I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. The only thing that stood out to me was those lights. You know, when they first came in, they came in as lights, like orbs, but they would position themselves right above the houses to where it made you think it was a light until one of them blinked one night. And then a orb shot towards my yard like it shot towards the camera that had the light on. And it stopped. I didn't see it went okay. The camera's not positioned, but this tree right here, all the way to the left, it might have been this tree straight ahead. I can't remember. But it kind of like did I lost it around that tree. It was next door, 2 doors down. And then I say about 5 seconds later, like how it is, oops, it's all right. Like how it is sitting up in this tree right here. All of a sudden, about 5 seconds later, after I lost the orb, it's like it looked like an eyelid lifted up. Yo, I'm telling you, man. And I knew then because it was in my tree. That ain't no damn light over there. Look at dude. Look at dude. Oh shit. Look at dude right here. He like sitting sideways. See when I zoom in, they wanna look away. Some of them do look away. Some of them will. Look at dude right there. He's got a light right there on his cheek. It's crazy. But I knew then what I was looking at, what it was. And so, my heart pounding it. Look at the round head, y'all. Look at that. That's crazy. I told my son I came out the room. I was nervous. My heart was pounding. I said, what insects, like besides a firefly, a lightning bug, insects, birds, what glows at night? Like, what all glows at night? And he's like, huh? And I'm like, there's something that flew into our tree and it has a light on it. Now, this is with and without infrared light. Now, what I noticed when I started turning off the infrared light, let me see, y'all. Hold tight. I'll turn it off. It's not the best. I'm trying to see if it settles down, whatever that stuff is. Anyways, there would be some, for example, over here. Remember, there was some, okay, you see that one over there, but there were some towards the middle. You can barely see it. You can't see them. So, like, okay, look at them, y'all. Those are creatures. So, like, I would turn off the infrared light and some of the lights would disappear. So I would be like, oh, it was a reflector. Now, you see the light. You see these lights, right? I started watching it without the infrared light. Whoa. What was that? I started watching it without the infrared light. And I watched them turn their light on. I watched them blink their eyes. Look at that one. It's got two eyes. Look, it's blinking his eye. These aren't raccoons sitting up in the trees, y'all. They're not. These are not possums and raccoons. These are other types of creatures. But the infrared light, what I learned by doing that, the difference between the infrared light and the, regular color light is even when they don't have their light on, you can see them. It's like they're Look at them. It's like a reflector light. Okay? It's like a reflector on them. Okay? They react to the infrared light. Look at that. Oh, look at this tall one over here. But ooh, baby, I see you. I see him right in front of the power cord. Wow. Ooh, ooh. And I'm feeling his energy. This one over here. That's one I saw earlier. Dude with the cone head and long chin. It has a little square light beside his face. But then again, when you zoom out, I don't know, he might be shapeshifting. Yeah, he might be a little shapeshifter. I'm sure most of them are. Look at that one from the tree. Look like he got a light in his ear like an earring hanging sideways. And he got a little small one on the side of him. Ooh, he got a light on his forehead too. Look at the one that just came in the right corner. I'll be damned. It's a lot of them, y'all. But look at that one in the dark. So they can turn. Look at that one. Ooh, he looks like a praying mantis. They can turn their lights off though. That's all I'm trying to say. There's one right here. I see the light. Yep, I see the light. Ooh, look at this one, y'all. It's starting to form a little round by that plasma ball that I saw earlier. Oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all see him? Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all see him. He got a light like right there above his forehead. Oh my gosh. And it looked like his nose is starting to glow. He changing form, y'all. He changing form. That was like a human looking face for a second there. It's changing form. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh snap. Look at that one. That's a short one too. Looks like a star with legs. Oh, another one just shot over there. When they move, they look like orbs. Look at that. Oh boy, look at that one. They look like orbs, man. That's what I couldn't figure out for the longest. How? And but see, it's so trippy. Oh my God, look at this one, y'all. It's like man, they can be celestial form and like manifest physically. That was the part I could not put together. Like it was just not clicking. You can see them. You can see the shapes on them. Look at that. That might be a ship, y'all. Let me know. It's kind of uneven though. Yeah, a ship is like perfect. If it has lights on it, it's perfect. It's not gonna be like that. This is wild. Hidden in plains. Oh, look at them. That's a new one. Hidden in plain sight. Look at that. Human face. Hidden in plain sight. Yep, I watched them grow. I watched them grow into what they are today. And listen, and I'm positive. I'm positive that other portals opened up in this area. I'm positive. When I started leaving the house, it was like during the winter time. And I wasn't really going out much at night. Like I hadn't been out at night in months. That's when I started seeing them. And then I drove across town a couple of times. And sure enough, every single time I went out at night, every single time, I could be clear across town. And as soon as I parked my car, because I wasn't going in people's houses. You know, you guys, when I started going through this, what was that? 2022 is when these particular ones arrived. So I say 2023, my health took a turn for the worse. Cortisol levels was through the roof. I had major chronic inflammation. I was swollen. I went blood sugar was so extremely high. I was jacked up. So yeah, I wasn't going out. I wasn't going into people's houses. Just it was, and I was having ET encounters back to back to back. So what caused my cortisol levels to skyrocket was the stress. It was very stressful. You know, it wasn't. I feel like it was more stress than fear, because it had happened so many times, and it was always different ones. And at the time, I couldn't understand why it was happening. Okay, I could not. I couldn't. My mind. There, no one could tell me. No one could tell me why this was happening to me. You know, and so I had to come to that, to those terms. And baby, when you got to come to it on your own understanding and acceptance, and for it to really take seed and sit with you to where you can rest on that, you're not back and forth with it. Like 1 minute you think it's this, the next minute you don't, because I went through all that. That takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of trust. It takes a lot of understanding. And the only reason why I made it through, and I did not lose my mind through this process, is because I chose to live. That was one of them. Y'all seen it. I chose life. And it's just that simple. I chose life. I didn't, that's it. Right there. I chose life. I chose life as in me being here in nature, taking in Mother Gaia, learning how to balance universal energy, and getting to know myself again. Period. That's what I chose. And when you finally wake up, and that is a wake up right there. Why am I here? What am I here for? What is this? And what am I going to attach myself to? What is going to feed me and keep motivating me to keep existing? Because many of us, that's all we do is just exist. We're not living. We're not vibing. A lot of us still in survival mode. A lot of us is self-destructing. A lot of us is slowly deteriorating. I chose life. And when I chose life, I chose God. I chose the spirits. I chose the stars. I chose all of it. And to become unplugged, man, it's a process. Because it is the natural way. You're so used to it. Even once you unplug, you may slowly plug back in again. You got to stay in, stay detoxing, stay grounding yourself. And a lot of us go through that honeymoon. Oh my God, it's a honeymoon phase where we want to save the world. We want to save people. And I'm telling you, that could take you down some dark paths too. Lose sight of, you lose sight of the your destiny, the vision. It's what I had to learn. Okay, yes, I was created and sent here to guide and aid humanity in enlightenment of self. to come up out of that state of hell that you've been living in and to bring you into a state of peace in heaven, in harmony. But first, I had to go through it myself. You see, I thought I was being attacked by aliens. Hell, sometimes I still do. I'm only keeping it real. Ain't nothing fake about me. I cried out to God nonstop for about 3 months prior to this happening. Every day, I was beyond rock bottom. I was in the dark night of the soul. Never been through it, never have gone through that. Some say no, it was addiction. No, I thought so too at the end until I seen it. And these are dark. And they remind me of what I was dealing with. The one at the top, yeah, them look like those are, I don't want to call them demons, y'all, because there's so many different ones, man. But they're just the lower vibrational ones. They stay in the dark because they are dark. I'll never forget the day it happened. And prior to that, I'm sleeping, and Divine Mother, I have many Divine Mothers, by the way, too. Divine Mother wakes me up as I'm coming to it. I have not fully awakened, but consciously, spiritually, she goes, I need you to wake up. I need you to close the window. But first, before you get up and close the window, I want you to make a sound and then turn the light on. And whatever you do, do not look out that window. Oh, I regret not listening. Like when they give you instructions, when you get instructions from an unexplained voice or whatever, maybe you know where it came from, maybe you don't. Listen. It's a messenger. Someone is aiding you right now. There's something dark and demonic around you, and someone of the light has come to rescue you. Listen to what they say. Well, I didn't, because the old me was hard of hearing. When you told me not to do something, I took it as a challenge. And that was just that ignorancy I grew up in, okay? It comes from being in a dysfunctional family. So I looked out the window. There was a huge gap in my blinds. My blinds were probably about 2-3 inches too small for that window. And so you could see me laying in the bed. As I'm closing the window, I put my fingers through the blinds to pull the window down and lock it. I see the shape of a person standing there. Right in front of my window was, I think that bush was probably about 6 feet tall. Yeah, it's about six. It was 6. I'm 5'5", so it was a little bit taller than me. Actually, it was. Yeah, it was a lot taller. It was about 6 feet. So the person was standing in between the bush and my window. Like if I were to have lifted the screen up, I could have touched them. And so I see the silhouette through the blinds where I look, and it looked just like this. It was jet black. You see this one right here? See them? There's 3. Well, what I'm seeing is I see 1, 2, 3 big ones, and then I see the little ones. Uh-oh. Shit, y'all. Hold up. My bad. So I looked, and it was jet black. Now, at the old house, it was dark out there. Not as dark as it is over here, though. Because on the sidewalk, we had lamps. We had light over there at the old house. And it was some of the moonlight was shining down. It was not dark enough for it to be that black. I couldn't see hair. I couldn't see clothes. Like no, it wasn't dark enough for that to be that black like that. Besides the fact that it was too dark, the energy that came off of it. Oh, my head just thinking about it, y'all. It was the most disgusting energy. It felt like, oh, it was dramatic, y'all. It was very dramatic. Um I could tell this person was very sick if it was a person. I closed the window, I locked it, and I couldn't tell you how long after that, but I'd say maybe a couple weeks if that. I'm coming through my room. I just went and got something to drink, and I'm coming back and watching my show, and all of a sudden, just this thought just shoot, pops into my mind. It was a very self-destructive thought, and I will never forget what I heard. You should get some, what it was, and I'm like, I was so baffled that I thought that. Until up to that very moment, I didn't know that, things could send thoughts to you, or demons can plant thoughts in your mind. I was not aware of that. I was so baffled that I thought it, and I just remember brushing it off. The thought pops back up about 10 minutes later. And I'm like, literally listening, entertaining this thought at this point. It begins to talk to me. And I wasn't catching it because it was my voice. It was my voice in my head. So I wasn't catching it. I thought it was me. Hell, I did. I thought it was me. And I was so, confused by it. And it even told me, oh, it gave me like, it told me to do something that wasn't good, and then it compared it to something to say, oh, it's not that bad, it could be worse, it's not like you're doing this, like justifying. I couldn't believe it, and I, instead of rebuking it, I listened. And then next thing I know, 3 years later, I'm overdosing on my bed, and I almost died. I almost passed away. 3 years of pure madness. No one knew. I showed no signs. Like, I just looked like a workaholic. And yeah, that's it. You know, I worked a lot. But no one knew. So at the end, I was waking up in the middle of the night, and these dark shadows were literally jumping out from the corners of my room. I'm just waking straight up, sitting straight up, like out of nowhere. I don't even know why I would jump up like that. And when I would, it's my spirit. It was when I look back, that was my spirit in defense mode. Waking me up like shit. There's some visitors here. Get up. And I would see these dark shadows like jumping out at me, and they made a sound. That happened a few times. And then I literally started feeling like the death angel had arrived at my house. I was seeing a tall, dark shadow figure walking through my house. I felt death all around me. I noticed this smell in my room. I cleaned the carpet. I did it all, trying to get rid of it. I couldn't tell where it was coming from. It was strange. It was a very strange odor. It smelled like a rotten fruit. Like, I don't know. It was different. That was this entity. Okay. And so I finally broke. I finally cracked. It felt like something was controlling me. Even when I had money, I had what I needed. I still couldn't rest. There was no peace in this place, you know? And so I finally cracked after 3 long years. And what fueled this dilemma, I don't even know what to call it, pain. Not struggling with rejection, struggling with abandonment issues. A relationship ended, and it ended very abruptly and just very cruel. Being with someone for 7 years and then they just get out your bed and then go marry somebody else. That was a lot. And I had a son by him and stuff. So that, and then the girlfriend wanted to like floss on social media and laugh at my pain. It was just a tragedy, and so the humiliation, the my son felt betrayed. He lost his dad. Dude left me and his son. So long story short, that was the heart of it, though. See, I'm gonna tell you, these beings, these demons, these creatures, they come in not off your fear, man. People need to stop saying that shit. Fear feeds them, but they coming in on your pain. They come and attach from that pain. If you listen, if you have no pain, no heartache, you're in complete peace and joy. You're not going to experience none of this that I'm talking about. You're not. You will not. You will not experience it. I guarantee it. You know, that's why so many people say Jesus keep them in perfect peace and harmony, and they don't experience this. They found something that helps them, that works for them. But it came in, and the night that I was awakened by Divine Mother, that was the night that it showed up. And it's so weird because his dad used to come by and tap on the window. And I remember, like, my son got to see him like two or three times over 6, 7 years. So one of the times he asked him for me, like mom said, she heard you the other night, because he was saying my name. And he started laughing. He said, tell her I'll be in the bushes. So we knew it was him, right? And he came by a few times. It was like a lot, spread it out over a couple years. And when this happened, when this occurred, I at first I thought, like, you know, was it him? But I knew it wasn't. When I felt the energy off of this, and when I looked out the window, he would have said something. It was just so many things running through my mind. But when I look back, y'all, I feel like it stemmed from him coming over, from him coming to my window, watching me in my room. Rather I was awake or I was asleep. You know, the emotions he felt when he stood there, the lust, the anger, because he might have felt betrayed. He thought that I had an affair because somebody was parking in my driveway at night, going across the street to a hot spot. It was a truck, and I never seen the truck. And he kept accusing me. And it happened a couple nights he seen it. So long after it happened, he didn't went and, once it was over, he left and went and married somebody, thought I was having an affair, whatever. About 6 months down the road, I'm sitting out there having a fire in my yard. I see a truck pull up in the driveway, and I see this old little white man get out the truck and go across the street. He was in there for about an hour and a half. He pulled all the way up in my driveway, and I was just, I was like, wow. So he wasn't lying. Like, he really did see a truck. But if he was any type of man, he would have knocked on that door, and he would have realized that night that it was no one in the house. I don't know who that person was. But long story short, so I know he felt some type of way once he realized there was no one in the picture. I was not doing nothing. You were out in them streets and you felt insecure, and you knew you didn't deserve me, is what it was. Long story short, all those emotions he was feeling, I feel like it created it. So that's what came in. And I know it came from that, because it fed off of that pain, that humiliation that I was dealing with. And I lost so much being with him for them 7 years. I lost myself. You know, my children had grew up in a unhealthy environment. Like, to be in a household and you know that one of the parents isn't truly there and loves everyone like they should, like, that's not healthy, man. Being in the streets, coming back, being gone for 2 weeks at a time, coming back with he'd come back with spiritual fleas, demons, every time, every time. And he was battling addiction. So it was horrible. And being, spiritually sensitive like that, having to keep cleansing, and oh my God. I see that one. It's starting to take a little shape form. But towards the end, 3 years later, like I said, I felt death. I felt it. It was there for me. It was coming. And so I did not even realize I cried all the time. But I cried. So there's a difference. Like, you can have a cold, hardened heart and still cry. I did not know that. But you can. And so, because I would cry, that wasn't a problem. But it was the type of, so it was my perspective. It was the way, it's like you can put your emotions in like a certain selection of how you perceive something. So your emotion is coming from this angle. So it wasn't coming from an open heart. It was coming out from a broken heart. It was like a poor me pity cry. Look at this one, y'all. Oh, it's moving up. Or it came up. It looks a little different. Like, I don't know. It was standing out a little bit. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's in the same position. But so that shifted. This was different. This wasn't, God, please bring them back to me, or, you know, I can't believe this has happened type of cry. It was like, God, help me. I'm ready. Oh my God, please. The moment that happened, it was like something broke off of me. And I'll never forget, I was sitting in my room watching television with blackout curtains. 333, as soon as I said that. It's 333 in the morning, but blackout curtains. It's in the day. It's like afternoon, the sun's shining, but it's dark in my room. But enough light to where, the TV and stuff. I just remember seeing this black smoke come out from my chest. I will never forget as long as I live. And it started to take shape and form. And I was just so like, did that just come out from me? I couldn't believe it. I was in disbelief. And in my mind, I thought, Where the hell did you come from? And this thing answered me by showing me. It showed me an image, and what I saw was my living room, like almost as if I was above the house, but I could see through each level, every floor. And in every corner of the rooms, I saw these, like, maybe a foot, foot and a half dark shadow. And they all ran into the living room and started to stack on top of each other. Oh my gosh, y'all. Until it formed one big one. And that was what was in front of me. And oh my God. Like, listen. Oh, I need to back up. So before the black mist came out, I felt like this shift inside of me. I've never felt that before, ever in my life. It felt like something shifted. Like I could literally feel it. And I remember snatching, like, everything inside of me just pulling back. And that's when it came out my chest. Yep. Could not believe that happened. So that was pretty deep. Of course, after it showed me that, my next thought was, I rebuke you, to scatter it, to get it out of here in the name of the Father, the Son, and Most High God. All of it. I said the whole shebang. Like, you gotta go. I believe in all my heart it did. Now, it got out of me. Look at this one foreman in the middle, y'all. He's got one beside him too. But oh, wait a minute, it's another one. It's two of them. It's so weird because when you zoom out, you see, like, if I zoom out, it's like he's got a big face. But when you zoom in, it looks like he's got like a lion sitting on top of his head, kind of. Oh, and then there's a skinny one right above it. Oh, look at that one at the top. Y'all, there's so many of them. But after that happened, it did break though. It did not get back inside of me. I started crying out every day, every day. So before that, I couldn't. Oh, look at this one. It looked like it's looking dead at me too, y'all. Oh, you can see his head, like two glowing eyes. It's got like a V-shaped head. Mm-hmm. It's wild. But so sorry, y'all keep getting distracted. Every day, I could not cry out before that. That is why. That is why, y'all, them demons will block you from crying out to God. Listen, that breakthrough that you need to have, baby, let me tell you something. Them demons will, yes, they will shut you down. They will disable you, you know. So after that, every day, at some point, I spent like an hour, anywhere from an hour to just listening to gospel music, crying out to God, um, you know, just working on my heart. Ooh, I see that. Ooh, that's a big one that just blinked. Both lights blinked. Oh, okay, it's something up there shape shifting or glitching. That was big. I swear. Oh, that light ain't red no more. Oh no, that's this infrared light. I'm tripping. I swear that little red light was at. Mm-hmm. But so basically, because I remember thinking, like, why would it take 3 months though to soften my heart? And so, I didn't get no encounter, like Jesus didn't show up, nothing like that. But what was happening when I look back, my heart was being softened. You know, Nothing could happen because my heart was hardened. So I was so up when we came over to this house to see if we wanted to move into it. We hadn't got to go inside yet. He said just drive over there, and look. I pulled into the driveway, turned the car off. It was just sitting there in the backyard, parked, and we're talking. It's that night. It's dark, and I remember closing my eyes for a moment, and I had a vision, and I saw myself inside this house, coming down this hallway in a white gown, holding a white candle, a lampstand. And when I opened and listen, it was such a purity there, like so pure, so innocent. Like when I opened my eyes, I started crying, and I said, "Oh my God!" And I just had a vision. My son's like, "What happened, Mom?" And I said, "I'm going to heal. I'm going to heal at this house. We got to move here." Little did I know that I would be experiencing any of this. Little did I know that I would be abducted by not ETs. This is another civilization. Those look like people to me. Now I was abducted by some ETs, but look how around they got. The first the Lyrans, they were like human. I didn't know any of that was going to happen. I just knew that I was going to heal here. And that's exactly what happened. Now, was it all peaceful 100%? Hell no. Part of that's because I couldn't accept what was happening. I was in shock. And I lacked trust. You know, this really made me test my faith in God and my concept of the creation, the creator, and understanding of how everything works. It challenged that. And if you have limiting beliefs, you ain't going to be able to get around this. You ain't going to be able to understand it. Your mind can't open up to it. And once you open up that door, and what it is we've been put in a cage. We've been taught what to think, how to walk, how to act, all of it, y'all. We've been conditioned. There's truth on outside of that, outside that room. That's like, you being kept in a room away from the world. All you got to do is open that door and come out that room. And you're going to see there's much more to it than what was in that room. Period. And that was a struggle for me, as it should have been, because I had been programmed just like the rest of us. And listen, the fact that I did have encounters as a kid, I did see things, and I had two different labels put on me. You know, so I didn't know what to believe. Growing up and needing that approval, needing someone to validate you. As I've always said, I ain't here for validation. If you can't see, you can't see. If you've not, it's not about, oh, I can't see what she's showing us, but it's what I'm talking about. It's facts. It's real. So even if you can't see, it's okay to listen. Hell, you may have had some strange encounters yourself, some things that you can't explain and you can relate to. You know, 4 years ago, if I would have saw this, the main thing that would have stood out besides this right here, because that stands out to me, these lights. But I wouldn't have understood what I was looking at. Some of the stuff that I see in here today, I wouldn't have been able to see that. You know, it's so deep. Just because you can see with your eyes don't mean you can see. You see with your mind. And if your mind is closed and shut down, you're not going to see. It will always be a logical reasoning. And I'm not trying to make anybody unstable. I feel like I've gone through all of it, you guys. And I can be a great guide for many people to keep you guys from going off the edge, from going off into these rabbit holes that could lead to spiritual psychosis, mental illnesses, and OCD. Like you can elevate it, evolve with and lose the old programming and get download the new without losing your shit. Excuse my language, but yes, you can, because there is someone here that is not full of crap, that is not commercialized. If I was trying to make a profit off of this, I would have been cleaned up. I would have been got professional on you guys. I would have been turned it into a show, a podcast, and I would have went into character. This is not about that. This is something that I am experiencing, and I know it's here, and this is what's happening, and it is here to affect everybody, whether you participate or you don't. And for those who don't, we got some dark ones here too, and some low vibrate. This is the new earth. I feel like it's God's kingdom has arrived. The second coming of Christ is here, and spirit. And everybody didn't get the memo. It's so wild because when I entered the dark night of the soul was 2017. It ended in 2020. I say what, October? Maybe September, somewhere around there. And then my first ET contact or encounter after that was November 2020. 2015, as I'm waking up early in the morning, 5 o'clock, I hear Spirit say, it's time. Preparation. Get ready. That was on my spirit so heavy. I went in the basement. First, I pondered. I didn't know. I didn't understand. How am I to prepare? What am I supposed to do? Let go of the baggage. That's what I was getting. If you have physical items that connect you to what we would call emotional baggage, you are not going to be able to release that emotional baggage if you have those items. Those items are carrying energy that is feeding your environment. It's in your energy field. So I go to the basement. I pull out, I got like these 3 totes I carried around for years, 20 years, full of pictures, notebooks, journals, you name it, of my mom, my sister. I had items from my sister, her purse, her nightgown she wore that night in a Ziploc bag. I should at least washed it. I wanted to capture the smell, the scent, and I did. And it lasted for a few years. But eventually, I remember I didn't even notice the smell anymore because I was so used to it. It had the whole basement smelling like it, though. I didn't even notice the difference until I took these items out. When we went down to the basement the next day, all of us was blown away because it smelled like a brand new basement. It was from the items that I had been carrying for years. The energy, let me tell you, I started a bonfire in the backyard. I kept one item from my mother and one from my sister. That was it. I got rid of everything. I burned all of the like 30 something notebooks, journals, all of it. I burned it in this bonfire. At the end, I ended up, because it was getting late, it's about 10 o'clock at night. I think I had about six, maybe 10 books left. Now, I was feeding the fire steady, but not overdoing it because of the smoke. You know, it's illegal. And I realized I shouldn't have did that at the end where I threw all the rest of the stuff into the fire. And oh my God, the smoke, you couldn't even see down that street. That whole block was covered in a thick, thick smoke. I could have got fined. Like, I learned my lesson. I got lucky. I was scared to put the fire out. We started putting it out, and I was like, it's worse, let it go, let it go. Like, just let it burn out, because if you put it out, it's already smoking. So I let it burn out. But towards the end, I walked away, and I'm in the driveway now, and I'm sweeping, and my back is to the fire, and I'll never forget feeling like you could tell that this entity rode in like it was not there prior. Like it formed. Yeah, I think it was coming from those journals. It formed. I just remember feeling something, like something just came in, and it was just standing there staring at me, and this concentration, this energy that I was feeling was just getting stronger by the second. And so I turned around. I turn around, I look, and right above that, and I had a big, big fire, y'all. Big bonfire. Right above the fire, it was made out of smoke. Y'all, when I tell you, if I had a camera, I would have took a picture of that. It was perfect. It sat there for like 10 seconds, man. It literally shook the core. I mean, every hair on the back of my neck stood up. A Grand Reaper. That's exactly what it looked like. A Grand Reaper. That was a demon. I know for certain it was. And you could feel it. You could feel the energy off of it. At that point, I called it a night. I knew. I tried to put the fire out. I don't even think yeah, we got the water hose on the side of the house. I didn't even go near it. I didn't want to, it dissipated, but I didn't even want to be out there anymore. So 2015, I was being told to prepare, to let go of old baggage. Good night. Because what was coming, what would be here in just a couple of years, it probably came before 2020. Because like I said, that first demon, when I was awakened to close the window, I was 2017. Yep. So I don't know, but I do know this, that I have had a lot of encounters. I feel like my yard turned into a spiritual battlefield a couple of times. Um, it's been something. I don't regret it. I'm very grateful that I'm here today. And everything that I was dealing with back then broke off of me. You know, them ETs started coming around. I did get sick. I got very sick, but during that healing process, and that's the crazy part. Remember, I said I saw myself through the hallway. So a month after moving in here, I was fighting for my life. I never got tested for COVID. I wouldn't go to the hospital. And the reason why is as I was waking up on the couch, I knew I was going to the hospital. I told my sons, I'm going to go to the hospital in the morning when I wake up. So as I'm waking up, I hear this small, still voice, sound like a child, tell me, if you go, you won't make it back home. Let me tell you something. As I mentioned earlier, I've been seeing and hearing spirit my whole life. And one thing's for certain, they ain't never been wrong. And it's not about I listen to unfamiliar spirits. Don't let them pastors fool you, baby. I'm very connected to God. I have always been after God's heart. I've always worshiped and loved my Creator, my Father, and my brothers and sisters, and my forefathers, my ancestors, all of them. You know, so no, 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 no. Yeah, I don't listen to demons. I don't even really deal with human spirits like that. Okay, I've never been open where I'm like, okay, how can I help you? No, remember, I was taught to rebuke them. Okay, so when I hear from spirit, that to me, they are part of the kingdom. It is what it is. And it really irks me, y'all. And I'm going to wrap up after this. I want to share this. A lot of times we are put down by people that can't see, that have never seen. They've never had a divine encounter. They've never seen a cryptid or an angel or a celestial, whatever. They've never seen an ET. They've never had no real encounter. And they're the ones that will enforce facts like from the Bible, you know, and just because they don't see. And one thing I will say, I understand when the Bible always would say this: let those who have eyes see, and let those who have ears hear. You can have eyes and still not see. See what I'm saying? These are not unfamiliar spirits. When an unfamiliar spirit, or I say a low vibration, because that's what I go off of, just like humans. All right. You got that negative vibration, you got that low vibration, you know, negative energy, toxic, dark energy, a low vibration. Let me correct myself. That is what that's the scale I use on any living energy source, whatever it is. They all get weighed on that scale. That's my truth right there, y'all. That's my ability, and I thank God every day for it. It has guided me. It has protected me from entities and from people. you know. So I can say that there is a celestial kingdom because I've seen it. I can say there are other civilizations because I've seen them. I can tell you that spirits are real because I see them. I can tell you demons are real because I've seen them. I can tell you cryptids are real because I have seen them. UFOs, aliens are real because I have experienced it. Not because the Bible tells me, not because a book tells me, or someone from the history. I don't go off of that, especially after experiencing this. Somebody can come and tell me, "Oh no, don't watch this person; they're fake. That's not real." Excuse you. I want to see this myself. I want to listen myself. Even if that person is confused, I'm going to relate to it regardless because I've been down and I've been up. I've been low and I've been high. I've been around the block, baby. So there's a lot of things that I can relate to. You know. And when a person is confused, I have to have patience with them because they're learning right now. They're unlearning and they're learning. And sometimes, like I said, that becomes, a tide, a pull back and forth, you know, because it's hard. You got to learn to trust yourself in the process. Hell, if you don't have that trust with yourself, or 100% truly trust God and believe, and I did. I trusted God and I believe. And baby, that was all up for grabs. That was all. That foundation did not shake. It cracked. It broke. This broke my foundation. And I lost God. I lost my religion. I lost all of it. And then I came full circle back around. And I found God. It's like, to me, I did feel like I lost him, but I lost the concept of what God was. Okay, so now today, so it's like I was seeing him through this small little hole, and now, whew, there's nothing blocking it no more. Like, oh my God, it's so overwhelming, you guys. It's so overwhelming, and it's not, oh, we got a gene inside of us designed for us to worship. Like, come on, stop it. We are part of it. I am a part of this creator, this magnificent spirit energy, cell, whatever, however you want to see it. I am a part of that. We are all inside of it, and it's just, I don't know, man. I'm just so overwhelmed with like the beauty of it. It's just my heart, y'all. It's so overwhelming just to really take it in, and the concept of it. It's beautiful. We were taught to look at it in an ugly way. We were taught to separate and divide. Man, I'm telling you, come out of that room, open the door. Hidden in plain sight. It's right there in front of you. It's been hidden though, but it's in front of you. Aren't you guys? Make sure you give this video a like. I need it. I need you guys to help me. There's so much more I would love to share with you guys tonight, but I'm going to wrap it up. I need you guys to do me a favor. If you enjoy this podcast, this conversation, me talking, sharing encounters, showing the video, showing the pictures, help me help this channel. Every video you watch, I need you guys to start liking it and leaving a comment, okay? Because there's so many wonderful people out there that are experiencing similarities, or they're waking up and they need to know that, listen, they're not alone. There's others like us. We are out here. Okay? So, in this video, if you could just comment your state, that would be awesome. Plus, I get to know where you guys are at. It's pretty cool. I'm in Ohio, by the way. Comment your state. You guys are always welcome to share any encounters you may have had, or hey, we can do story time too. If there's a story, an encounter you had, and you want me to share it, I'm a good storyteller. Just let me know. The email is available. It's on my profile. It's on the channel. Send me an email. If you got pictures, that's awesome. If not, hey, we'll figure it out. But yeah, make sure you like the video. Leave a comment. Let me know where you're at. And stay tuned, man. Stay tuned.